Everybody, we've got a breaking news style update this morning. Before we get into the update, I need to give you a quick synopsis of what's going on. Also, my son's got his MRI today. I know I had some thoughts going out there yesterday and today. I appreciate it. My son's MRI is in about an hour. So I wanted to do this before that happens. As you guys know, he's in a serious car accident about 3.5 years ago, him and his mom. Mom's going on her 5th surgery soon. So we'll talk about that at a further time. And then he had a broken femur, but they got to do an MRI and his like a brain scan type because now that he's older, they want to see if there was any damage that actually happened. So prayers for him this morning. Hopefully it goes good. They're on their way to the doctor right now. Only 2 of us can go, so my mom and Julie went. I just helped them out the door. So I'm going to keep my mind busy. First, things we need to talk about here. There's an article that came out about the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit if it were to go to a jury trial, and they're suggesting that the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission would likely win in that scenario. We also need to talk about and get your money off of Binance, please. There's a plot uncovered about Binance. They had Binance.com and Binance US. They made them separate entities so that they could avoid. Their plan was to evade U.S. law enforcement from the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. So basically what they did is they separated the 2 entities, Binance.com and Binance US, and made like the Binance US bare bones. But what they did was they had the same staff members, the same like corporate people in there, and they were pushing money around both of them simultaneously. So they were using both of them to move money around, which is highly illegal. And it appears they were avoiding paying taxes on US and to avoid the regulations in the US. So this is a very serious story. And if you got money on Binance, get it off. Get it off. This is just the next domino to fall. Make sure you hit that like button. It does greatly help push me through the analytics, as it would make me feel good this morning. Dow futures is down 13. S&P's down 0.5 point. NASDAQ's down 7.25. And the Russell 2000 is down 1.70. So down to start today. We ended the week on a pretty strong note on Friday. But the broader markets, like with Bitcoin and the death cross and yada, 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 and XRP being down like at the 3.4 level this morning, we have to take a serious look at that. I'm going to play the intro, but make sure you hit that like button. Good morning. 6:33 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Monday, March 6th, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So we're going to start out the best way I know. We'll start out with the technical analysis, then we're going to drop into the news. I'm going to read a few articles so we can get at least the storyline of what's going on, but I want to get everybody in depth with the charts. Right now, the U.S. dollar currency index is at 104.36, up about 0.10% to start off the week. And we talked about it had to avoid, especially in the daily, we want to avoid a push down below. We can still come down to about that 104.08. As you can see, we kind of have this engulfing candle to the downside. It has pushed up rather hard, so we'll see if somehow in the next 12 hours this can push up and actually close over the 104.75 roughly. But as long as we're holding in the daily, you can see this bullish cross here. The problem is the 200 below the 100, and this seems weird. This seems like an anomaly here. So if we look at the 4-hour, that doesn't look great. We look like we could be getting rejected by the 20-day here. So we have to watch that with the U.S. dollar currency index. 104.73 or 75 range is very, very important. Total crypto market cap, as we talked about yesterday in the 4-hour time frame. We committed a death cross, which means this pattern is likely going to continue moving down. That's a big bear flag. And especially if we got rejected at the 1 trillion mark on or 992 right now, or 993.5, or the 1 trillion mark on the 200-day. We're looking very bearish, especially if we fell back below the 990 billion, which is now 987 billion. Our next drop would be 940, and that seems all but done right now. Especially if we sit on the bottom side here. This looks very, very dangerous this morning. There's no two ways about it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. XRP sitting down another 1.28%, barely holding on to 36 cents, folks. It's down to 3618, and it looks very volatile. I warned over the weekend that we needed a swift push of volume when it was up at that 387, or not 387, it was pushing back up here. It was about 375. We said if we got rejected at 377, we could not afford to lose 369. We need some buyers to step in. Otherwise, we could quickly shuffle back down. And now from yesterday even, it's been a pretty nice pull down. And now we're pushing that next support level at 3618. These support levels flow majestically. We've got the top of the falling channel. And that resistance is still, even if we met it today, let's go back here. Even if we met it today, it's still up at about 391 level. But right now, we've got further problems. If we lose the 3618, we got 355. And then underneath that, we basically got 348. And then the bottom of the channel down at 338. The 338 is very important because that is universal with a very key support level. And you'll see right here how this flows majestically. 338 is that uptrending support on what we could consider a long-term descending triangle. And that's the trend line from about March or May of 2020, this uptrending support at 338. And then it majestically falls into this uptrend from 2017 at 18.5, I always say 18.8. And then the 2013 uptrend that can get you all the way down to like the 0.18 mark. So that's what we're looking at right now. I just showed you the short term and the way the long term target looks. And we need to pay very close attention to that. The last thing I want to show you is a perpetual futures chart, because it also shows us a key hint of what's going on. This downtrending resistance is a very key resistance that was formed if you look at a much wider descending triangle. And we needed to stay above this to try to re-push up here to about the 45.5 cents, possibly. But we did fall underneath, and now it's even more dire. We need to get back above 37 cents. If we're below 37 cents, this can be a very, very bearish proposition. I told everybody. This could get ugly very quickly. And if you look, XRP is hindering right now. It's at a very key level, as is Bitcoin. Then we're going to go into these articles because I want to release this because I got stuff to do with my son. And I'm kind of anxious, so I'd like to know what's going on. So uptrending support right here at 22,000. 21,965 is the overextension here. We must hold these levels, or Bitcoin's looking at about a 1,000 point drop almost immediately if it loses that uptrending support. And then we have the multi-year trend line that still has to come all the way back down to about 18,000. About 18,950. No, 19,000 on March 1st. So yeah, it would be a little bit lower. So if we come down here, you're talking 18,550 is what we're looking to hold, roughly. You know what, we'll just say 18,000. So that's the multi-year trend line. So with Bitcoin, that's what you're looking at. Immediate support right here is at 21,965. We're going to see if we can hold it, but that bear flag looks very dangerous. We've already had a death cross in Bitcoin in the 4-hourly, the 20 crossing the 50 using the exponential moving averages, and you can clearly see that blue line's been crossed by the red line. So it's very urgent this morning. Now, let's take a look at this. These two articles that I wanted to read. First, we'll start with Binance's secret plot. Leaked text reveal plans to evade U.S. law enforcement. What's going on? We're not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to read a couple sentences so you can understand. Binance and its U.S.-based counterpart, Binance U.S., which were presented as distinct entities, are said to have been more closely connected than what was previously revealed, purportedly entangling personnel, technical teams, and finances. According to a report published by the Wall Street Journal, WSJ, internal documents and employee messages reveal that Binance and Binance US, despite their assertion of being completely separate entities, had shared personal and finances and a related organization that engaged in buying and selling of cryptocurrency. That is highly illegal, and the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission is going to shut this down, so you better be on top of this. The report further claimed that Binance created the U.S. platform as a shield from regulators. The move allegedly came after U.S. authorities signaled a coming crackdown on unregulated offshore crypto players, with a fifth of Binance's customers were in the U.S. Worried about the threat of prosecution, Binance set out a plan to neutralize U.S. authorities, the report said. The strategy centered on building a bare-bones American platform, Binance US, that would license Binance's technology and brand, but otherwise appear to be wholly independent of Binance.com. The report also shared text between employees of the two companies from 2019 that illustrates their close involvement. For instance, in September 2019, when Binance staffer in Shanghai turned on trading for the U.S. platform a few minutes before it was meant to launch, it led to an exchange in Binance chat group on the messaging app Telegram. Other messages followed Binance software developer. Why did trading start? It's not time yet. Who started trading? We had the trading timers set. Who started trading? So insider trading there, as you can see. Other messages followed, including another urgent one from Niner. Someone started trading early. Who did it at 8:56:09, 8:22? Someone manually started trading. Who? Why? Eventually, Binance CEO Changpeng Say said a guy here in Shanghai mistake operations. The message is indicating that developers in Shanghai maintain key software functions at Binance US initially. The Shanghai developers' contracts were with Binance, not with the US platform, the WSJ said, citing a person familiar with the agreements. So that sounds like insider trading to the max to me, and that's the unfortunate thing about crypto. And then we need to talk about this with XRP or Ripple versus U.S. SEC. So basically, U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission versus Ripple XRP. So U.S. SEC likely to win if XRP lawsuit goes for jury trial. Here's why. U.S. SEC lacked a specific transactional approach and tried to depict that the XRP itself constitutes an investment contract. So let's read a very small part of this. As per Bill Morgan, Ripple and the defendant looked hard-hitting as the arguments and pieces of evidence came out. So XRP lawsuit go for jury trial. Meanwhile, so it says it's a go for jury trial, and this is what I've been saying. After taking a look at the U.S. SEC's brief motion for summary judgment and memorandum of law, it prima facie becomes more compelling. The U.S. SEC holds a strong, compelling case going by its submitted summary judgment briefs. However, the motion has some complex arguments around secondary sales, but the main issue raised by the commission over Ripple violating Section 5, eased the case for the judge. Attorney John Deaton and Madam Ms. Curie and the XP lawsuit came to the rescue of the Ripple. We already know about all this. However, attorney mentioned Rule 56 of indisputable fact statements and counter statements and agreed with the court's decision. He added that Judge Torres rejects Ripple and defendant's blue sky argument, which was filed for the second court. A jury trial on this issue or more is completely in the scenario, he asserted. So Deaton added that the U.S. SEC lacked a specific transactional approach and tried to depict that the XRP itself constitutes an investment contract. He suggested that the commission might face a loss here. So that's what's going on here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm XRP Future Million. I got to take care of some stuff with my son. If you got anything out of this, make sure you hit the like button. Consider subscribing and join the over 15,600 subscribers. And also, make sure you hit that like button. That's how it's pushing me through the analytics. If you want to trade on BitGET and or MEXC, no VPN in the USA, no spot fees on buy and sell. It's in the video description below and or the pinned comment. Same with the link to Tom's Army. Hashtag be better, do better. Hashtag fight assassins. And remember, help one person each and every day. Because if I don't do my part and you don't do your part, it's very, very lonely on the top. And we need to help each other as a whole.